I would say most of the schools and most of the leaders that I know are do feel certainly maybe frustrated about what we have traditionally happening in our schools, and we have kids with really, really, really different needs. Some of them, you know, need that tougher love. Some of them need more of that nurturing, and academically as well. We don't have a lot of those options within our normal school structure. So I would certainly tell other schools, meet Check, meet his team, have a look at what they have to offer, because the program is really tailored to the needs of your kids. So, you know, they're really happy to meet with you, to have a consultation with you in terms of what does your cohort look like? What are your school values? What are your goals? And what do you need for these kids? And once you spell that out, they come back to you with, look, this is our program. And they're really, really flexible. So school life is crazy, but they're certainly willing to work with what you have going on. They bring all their own equipment, everything is catered for. So, you know, you're just, it's such an easy, to me, a really easy fix. And it's certainly worth it because the kids are really happy. The parent response is really positive, and it's a really open learning environment. You know, parents are encouraged to come, staff are encouraged to come. So it really gets the whole community involved as much or as little as they want to be. So check it out, have a look, and you'll find that this really suits what you want, regardless of what your school's priorities are. It gets away from those traditional methods and really gets in at the issues that we're all facing. So, yes, so certainly I was to a smaller degree, um, but our parents, our teacher community was, look, is this a good idea? You know, we don't really want to promote anything physical, especially with a group of kids that are particularly physical in a really negative way. So we just really had to think about how we were going to approach this respectfully with our parents and our kids. And I have to say, although, you know, and I haven't mentioned boxing much, although that's the main component of the program, it feels like it's that's a small component, because what this program is building is resilience, and it's building thoughtfulness. It's building really who you are in the world and who you are in your space and the power that has. So uh, boxing was at halfway through the program, or not even. It was probably the last thing on my mind, and in fact, I was really, and our parents, our teachers, just said, "Oh my gosh, the kids love it, Carice. They're just buzzed, and they're actually less physical, and they are really aware, and they're really conscious of their actions, which they weren't before, because I suppose now that they're educated, they have other outlets." So I would say, although that is what it's based on, it's certainly almost so many more important elements to the program. Okay, well, my as the acting vice principal, I identified that we have a significant group of kids in our prep grade 4 and grade 5 cohort that we have behavioural issues with, are making poor choices, feel disengaged, are having really negative impact on the other kids, and are having issues in the yard, socialising, not being able to make friends, and I suppose the most alarming one was not wanting to come to school. So through exhausting all of our traditional methods, we just thought, this is not going to work. What are we going to do? So through brainstorming and searching, I came across the FITkids website, which really grabbed my attention. And it really seemed to have that holistic approach of mindfulness, of, you know, taking a positive approach to health and well-being, kept the kids thinking, kept the kids focused, and I was really impressed with all the positive things that I'd read. So I thought, let's give it a go. It's certainly been a positive change, I have to say. Where their classroom teachers, and I have noticed it, is they've really, they became, I think, spatially aware and certainly socially aware. And we noticed this in the yard, where we were experiencing, in that uncontrolled environment, things were going wrong. And through becoming aware of other people's space, of their own, of their impact, they were really approaching that social setting in a really positive way. They were able to make friends. They were able to walk away from probably negative associations, and they were thinking. They were thinking about their actions. They were thinking about the impact of their actions, and they were certainly, I want to say, less violent and less physical and less aggressive towards people in the yard, but also with our littlies, our preps, who are really aggressive towards the other kids in the classroom. That almost became minimal, bar one or two episodes. They were really conscious of their actions, and that's certainly something that I wanted. So initially, the feedback from our parents, I suppose the concerns from our parents was, why do you have a violent sport like boxing introduced as a kids program? And that's, I suppose that's the incorrect perception, that boxing is a violent sport. And they were concerned that how are my 5-year-olds or my 8-year-olds going to get involved in a program like this? And how are they going to be controlled? And what happens if they bring these behaviours home? And, our advice to them was, look, just check it out and have a look. So after that first session, we had endless amounts of phone calls thanking us for choosing their kids, thanking us for giving them the opportunity, because the kids were thrilled. They felt like they were involved in something really positive. The program has just a constant, the trainers are just constantly positively reinforcing and keeping the kids moving. So the kids came home, I suppose, with a spring in their step, and they really wanted their parents to pursue the program outside of school. So they wanted to get involved in boxing outside of school and kickboxing. And once the parents found that it was a really, really supportive and nurturing environment, they were really over the moon. So the kids have been calmer. They've been excited. They, come and find me and say, Mrs. D, when's the next session? And, Shek and Dave are really cool, and, we play tug of war. And so they're talking about it all the time, and it's exactly what we wanted. I feel like FITkids, it has everything. It encompasses everything. So certainly our values, our school values, we want to produce well-rounded kids. We want to produce academic kids. We want thoughtful kids. We want kind kids. We want kids that are active, but we want healthy kids, healthy mind, healthy body. And a lot of our kids here don't have anything positive in their lives. They don't have that positive reinforcement. They don't have a positive outlet. They don't have a physical outlet. So that tends to build laziness, a lazy mind, and a lot of frustrations, which are played out often in a negative way. So I felt that FITkids, we chose that program and we implemented that program because we wanted to give those kids something positive in their lives, something to make them feel excited, and another option to show them that negative response is not the best one, but here are some tools for you to use academically, but to use physically, and to make them that well-rounded, happy little person, which I feel this definitely does. Look, I will definitely say, when I came across it and I thought, oh, this is sort of like a boxing program and a program based on boxing and drills, I was nervous. And also I knew that we were dealing with 5-year-olds that aren't always in control of their actions, and they are impulsive, as many of these kids are. That's our target group. They are impulsive individuals. So what I loved about the program, though, was with Shek and his team, they have a teaching background. They have an understanding of the way schools work. They have an understanding of the way kids work. So that prior knowledge was already there, which already reassured me that I have experts in many fields coming in. So that was one thing that really stood out to me, and the fact that you were taking a really active contact sport like boxing, but implementing so many really positive a growth mindset, I suppose, program, where it made the kids look at some different ways of doing things, but it kept them thinking and kept them moving. Nothing was repetitive, nothing was boring. They didn't have a chance to stop and look around. And at the end of that 50-minute session, they were exhausted, but they were really sort of energized and really positive then for the rest of the week, and looked forward to the next session.